Welcome to Who's Your Mother podcast, where we discover who we are as souls and mothers through Reiki, spirituality, and healing. Hi, I'm Carolina, your host and Reiki master. I'm so very excited you're here today, so let's get started. Hi, welcome to Who's Your Mother podcast. I'm Carolina, your Reiki master and host, and today we have a very, very special guest. This is Belkys. She is a longtime friend, and we're going to share her journey of fertility and PCOS and all the way to motherhood and postpartum. So Belkys, do you want to give a little introduction of who you are and what you're about and say hello?
Hi there. So my name is Belkys. Like Carolina said, we've been friends for some time. I'm thinking back in
18.
Yeah.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah. We became really good friends. We lost a little bit of touch because she decided to leave Florida for a new venture.
I had to move to Nebraska.
Yeah. But then we rekindled, and I'm so blessed and happy that we rekindled, because I can honestly say that Carolina helped me become live the Reiki lifestyle that I'm living now, and has helped me in so many ways. And I'm truly blessed for that.
I remember, like, when we reconnected, I was sick with the flu in bed in 2020. It was the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I said that I was launching, I needed beta participants for my group coaching program that I wanted to do. And it was called Heal Your Womb. And mm-hmm. I made it I was like, I'm going to make this irresistible. And launching in the online space is always super stressful and it takes a lot of energy. I was like, I'm going to make this effortless, and I'm just going to put it on my personal pages. Anyone bites, then that would be really great. So I think that's how we reconnected, and you're like, mm-hmm. These are the issues that I'm suffering with, and I would really like to participate. This is like a no-brainer. Yeah. And in that program, we went through all the things that could block your womb that could prevent you from conceiving your baby. The things that I had learned in my multiple years in practicing in person, I had learned all the things that are the most common issues within the womb. But then, wait a minute, this is also all the common issues that are blocking fertility and the people right. that I was working with. Can you tell us a little bit about your PCOS journey and how long you were trying to conceive?
So my cycle has always been very irregular. I started when I was maybe 11 years old. And, there were times I would get it and then I would get it for 8 months. So I've always really struggled with a normal cycle. And apart from the fact that I was, overweight as well. So same. My hormones were never really balanced. For me, it was great growing up. Everyone else, they couldn't go to the beach. They couldn't go to the pool because they were on their time of the month. And me, I was like, hey, I don't care. I'm fine. I don't even, I don't even get it, But it started to become more of a struggle when I was in my 20s, when I met my husband. My husband and I met when I was 21 years old.
I remember.
Yeah. And we got married 3 years later. So I was 23, 24 when him and I got married. And of course, like every new couple, we wanted to start a family. We wanted to, grow our family. I did have a stepson, my son, Joseph. He was 4 years old at the time when my husband and I first met.
Wild.
Yeah.
He's a grown man in the military now, right?
Yeah. He's 22 years old. He's graduating USF in finance. He got his bachelor's. He's graduating actually now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And he's active duty in the military. So he's going into the Army, and he hasn't received his orders yet, but he did get his job, which is going to be logistics and transportation, which for me, it's still nerve-wracking because going to the military, especially with everything that's going on, right. He's my baby, but it's logistics and transportation. So he's not in the line of fire. So I'm a little bit okay with that, but it's always nerve-wracking. But anyway, so he was 4 years old. My husband and I got married when he was 7 years old. And of course, I raised him. I'm mom to him. His mother was involved here and there. But to me, I was mommy, and I raised him as my son. To me, he's my son. I don't really like calling him my stepson because I don't feel that way. I didn't birth him, but I raised him. So
my favorite characteristic of you, Belkys, is you have one of the largest hearts of anyone I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
Are a never-ending fountain of love, but the way that you love is so deep, so wide, and so like thorough.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's like a very loyal, committed love that's like, it's so unique. And I have always loved that about you. The way that you love is such a gift to receive.
Oh, thank you. I'm very honest and I'm very open. It takes a lot for me to look the other way. Like, I give everybody an opportunity. Everybody starts at 100% with me, and it takes a lot for me not to want to be involved anymore. But that's just the person I am. I've always been that way. I think I'm a lot like my father. My father's very open. He's the life of the party always. And, my mom is too, but my mom's a little bit more reserved because in
your
the house,
family parties were amazing.
Yeah.
Belkys' family is Cuban.
Yeah.
So we love a good Cuban party, and we love the Cuban food. Oh my gosh. I remember.
I mean, I think I get my intuition from my mom, because my mom's very in tuned. My dad's very free, and everybody, I'm not going to say he's a welcome mat. Everyone walks all over him because he's just so open and giving. So I think I have a good balance of my mom and my dad. I think that's where I get my intuition and stuff from. But anyways, going back to, so we got married, and we wanted to start a family. And more than anything, I wanted to give my son Jojo, we call him Jojo, wanted to give him a sibling. He was an only child and wanted to give him a sibling. So we tried for 15 years and nothing. I mean, I had gastric bypass in 2015. I lost about 130 pounds. I was pretty healthy. I was more regular on my cycle, but I was still not getting pregnant. Yeah, I still couldn't conceive. And I checked myself. Everything was fine. My hormones were fine. Everything was fine. So I guess to me, it just wasn't part of God's plan for me at that point. So moving forward to 2020, when you and I reconnected, that you posted on your page. And I said, you know what? I want to give this a shot, because I've always been a very intense person, as far as I'm a very nervous person. And when I feel something, like I have my anxiety, it's just in my stomach. Like I'm very tense in that manner. So I feel like maybe this is what I needed. I needed to maybe relax and get in tune with myself and do the meditation and go that route. So I wanted to give it an opportunity. And that's when you and I connected, and I was part of your beta. And I think we did the beta, in September, October?
It was September of 2020.
And I was pregnant.
I think it was from September, and I think we ended in October.
Mm-hmm. And I was pregnant November.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what it was. It was during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we were on a call, and you asked me, what's my next thing I need to do? And I remember I was like, tonight, I think I had pulled cards. And the thing is, with your spirit guides and have worked together for so long, I was very in tuned with was able to receive messages very clearly, like from your angels and from the other side. With what I love about community in the groups or like the membership is that I can develop these relationships, and it's easier for me to receive messages because I know them longer. I just remember we were on the call with the other ladies, particularly Manuela, that night, and you were at a party, and I said, tonight's the night. I remember I was like, tonight's the night, go and do. And you're like, I'm ovulating. I was like, that's when I got that's the night you got pregnant. I remember exactly.
That's when I got pregnant.
Not that I was there, but I was like, we had a group call. You took the call. Oh, you were at a party. I love that. You were so committed to the program.
Yep. And that's when I got pregnant. That's the week I got pregnant.
And what I loved about, can you talk about, so you got pregnant, then what happened? Like, what did you feel? What did you experience? Because you had waited so long to get pregnant. Now you're finally pregnant with Noah. What did you experience? What emotions did you go through?
So when I found out I was pregnant, I was 4.5 weeks. And how I found out was I remember my husband was sleeping, because my husband goes to sleep. The sun comes down, that's when he's in bed. So I remember my husband was sleeping and I was up and I was watching TV, and I was watching My Big Fat Fabulous Life. I don't know if you've seen that show with Whitney Thore. She's a heavyset girl that suffers with PCOS, and she was trying to get pregnant at the time. She wanted to check for fertility and stuff. And she ended up getting pregnant, but it was a chemical pregnancy and stuff. And I was like, it's so sad because so many women across the world deal with what I'm dealing with. I'm not alone in this. And then I remember I felt the urge to take a pregnancy test. So I took a pregnancy test that night, and I was like, oh, whatever. I know I'm not, but I don't know why, because I saw that program. I was like, let me take one. And it came back positive. And at that point, when I found out I was pregnant, there were so many emotions. I was happy. I was scared, because I had 3 losses before Noah. So I had a natural miscarriage at 7.5 weeks. I had an ectopic pregnancy. The baby was within my ovary and fallopian tube. So I had to have my left ovary removed and my left fallopian tube, because I was 8 weeks pregnant and the baby was there. So the doctors were amazed that it didn't rupture. So, and the only symptom I had was that I was spotting at that time, and I didn't know I was pregnant. So, I was 8 weeks pregnant then, and they removed my left ovary and my left fallopian tube. And then my third pregnancy at 7 weeks, the baby stopped growing, like the heart stopped beating. So I had to have, I didn't have a medical procedure. They gave me some medicine that you put in your cervix, and it just makes you kind of miscarriage naturally. I had 3 losses prior to Noah. And when I saw that positive, it was so many emotions. Like, I was happy, I was scared, I was nervous, I was worried. And that's when, I know we had a lot of sessions, you and I, because my anxiety was through the roof. It's natural. I've had so many losses that,
it's very normal. Like, that was the number one thing. I was like, this is very normal to have anxiety. It's like prenatal anxiety. Not that I'm diagnosing you, but like to have anxiety after you've had so many fertility trauma events. Like, and that nobody talks about fertility trauma and losses and how to process those. We don't talk about it enough, but like, it is very normal even then to even be like at higher risk for even postpartum issues.
Yeah.
Because of the anxiety and the trauma that you've endured. Absolutely. Yeah.
So at that point, when I called my doctor and we made an appointment, and I believe I was 6 weeks pregnant when I walked in, and they did an ultrasound, not a stomach, they did like a transvaginal ultrasound. And they were able to detect the heartbeat, and the baby was, at first I was nervous because I was like, okay, is it ectopic or is it going to be in my, where it's supposed to be? So when they found it and it was where it's supposed to be, that's relief number 1. When they saw the heart beating, relief number 2. So from there on, it was 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. My first trimester came through. I had my gender reveal. And when I was 5 weeks pregnant, I remember I was meditating. And I think I remember
during this time that you also got Reiki attuned. You got certified in Reiki before this. Like, from the time that we met, you found a person locally. Yes. You got certified in Reiki. I remember that.
I was 5 or 6 weeks pregnant when I got Reiki attuned. And I remember that I was getting balanced, and I was actually meditating when I was getting attuned. And when she went to my sacral, right?
It's 100%. Yep, your womb. Yep.
And she was, just doing her thing, I remember thinking really hard, and not thinking really hard, but meditating and just being at peace. And all I saw was blue. At that moment, I knew I was having a boy. So I was like, it's a boy. It's a boy. And one of my best friends, when I did, because I did the 21, the what is it called? The blood test that you can do at 8 weeks to determine the gender.
Yeah.
And she got the results because I was doing the gender reveal. I kept trying to probe her, you know, telling her, I know it's a boy, I know it's a boy. And she's like, I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you.
What about getting Reiki attuned, like learning Reiki? What did that do for your life? Like, how did that impact your healing? Your, like, what did that do for you? And why did you want to do it?
So going back to me being very like a nervous person, a tense person, that everything worries me. And so I've learned that your emotions have a lot to do with the way your body functions. So like stress kills 100%. If you're a person that stresses yourself out, or you're constantly stressed, your body is not relaxed enough to be able to do what it needs to do at 100%. So how Reiki helped me is Reiki helped me get that balance. Reiki helped me learn how to manage my stress, learn how to relax, learn how to take time for me, and kind of de-stress myself through meditation, through little things that would help me, meditation and getting grounded and balancing my chakras and things like that. I feel, well, I know that that is what helped me conceive. Because like I said, from 2000, I always suffered with PCOS since I was young. And I was trying to conceive for 15 years. At first, I thought it was because I was overweight and the PCOS and everything. And when I lost weight, I still had PCOS, but it was very, very, very mild. It wasn't as severe as I used to have it. And I was still not getting pregnant. I went through all sorts of fertility checks, my husband's sperm count. I mean, the whole thing, everything was fine with him. All my hormones, everything was balanced. So to me, I was lost. I didn't know, okay, what is it? So that's when I joined your beta, and I realized that after I got pregnant, I realized that the main reason why I probably wasn't conceiving was because I never de-stressed myself, and I never took the time to meditate and kind of fix myself from the inside out. And that's how Reiki helped me. When I decided that I wanted to live the Reiki lifestyle, and I wanted to get attuned, and I wanted to help others.
I love that so much. The way that I conceived Ollie is exactly like 2 people in 1 week had told me, you need Reiki, that your sacral is blocked and so is your throat. And those are the 2 chakras I've worked the most on through this entire journey. And your sacral chakra is where your womb is. So you need that chakra particularly to be open to conceive. If it's closed, that's the number one thing I start with. It's like, all right, why is it closed? And that chakra deals with a lot of emotional security, worth, soul discovery, creativity, sexuality, sensual, like deserving, the idea of pleasure, and worthiness of that, or having, and be able to, I also believe that your womb is where you birth everything. Whether you're a male or female, everyone has an energetic womb. So, and those same principles apply. So it amazes me, just like after one Reiki session, I was testing positive the next month for Ollie. And that's what spurred this, was like, I had done this, I had, all my hormones were fine. But I wasn't able to conceive. So that is just miraculous. Now that you're in your postpartum journey, how are you, how do you relate to your energy, or are you able to read your energy and know if you're balanced or off more quickly now that you're attuned to Reiki? Or how do you read your energy so that you can make sure that you're in alignment or living like optimally? How do you do that as a mom?
So having an infant is a handful, especially when you're my age. I'm about to be 40 in May. It's a lot. It is a lot. You know, apart from the fact that I dealt with the stress of being afraid of losing my pregnancy, now it's a whole nother stress. It's, is he breathing? Why is he throwing up? Why does he have this little mark on him? Like little things like that, which is just how I am as a person. I am a very, like I said, nervous person. So I know my energy. When my energy's off, I know I need to rebalance and reground myself. And how I know that is when my anxiety or when I'm too stressed out, that's when I know I need to take a pause and rebalance myself, not only for myself now, but for my son, because him and I are very, very connected, and he is very in tune with me. He thrives off my energy. So I need to make sure that the energy I'm giving out is positive energy for him, because he knows, like, there are times that you cry. I remember when I first gave birth to him, I was gung-ho that I wanted to breastfeed. And I didn't really produce much milk. And I mean, it had nothing to do with anything. Some women produce milk, some women don't produce any.
Right. 100%.
I really breastfeed him, and I felt like I was being selfish, and he was hungry because I didn't want to do formula, but it was so normal. I mean, to make a long story short, I ended up giving him formula because it was the right thing for him. But I would cry. And I remember him, when I would cry, he would be so uncomfortable, you know, feeling my energy. And then even now, there are times that, like, I yawn or I'm extremely exhausted, and he just looks at me and stares at me just to make sure I'm okay. He feels my energy.
I had, when Ollie was born, the lady who helped me conceive, her name was Colleen, and I still see her. And she told me, she said, this soul is very special. And the way that she described it in the womb is exactly the way he is now. Mm-hmm. Very boisterous, musical, friendly, very captivating. And all the things of which Ollie are my English. And she said, he shares your soul, but one day he will separate. But there's so much of you in him, mm-hmm. and energetically and spiritually and cosmically, that are just so intertwined. It's a really beautiful thing. And I was like, so he shares my soul. And it was just like, I've never been able to forget that conversation. And it just is because there's something so special after you've waited so long to have a child, and they're finally here. They're in your arms, and you're like staring at them, and you made them, and they came out of you. And
yeah.
And it's just a really, for the lack of a better word, weird, surreal moment. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like,
yeah, it is.
This is a piece of me. It's a piece of my spouse. Yeah. And it's like, this is real. It also made me feel like, I was
this
like,
day I stare at him and I'm like, I can't believe I made him. You know what I mean? Although he looks just like his dad. Fine. We'll give that credit. We'll give that credit. He looks like his dad, but he is exactly like me as far as his
there's so many parallels. Yes. Ollie mm-hmm. is 100% my personality.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, the orneriness. I just like, wait, was I like this? I stare at Ollie now and I'm like, I can't believe you are a baby. I just can't believe he's 5. Wow. The time goes by so fast. Really, that like time flies, like that saying is just so true. The days go by too fast. I used to say the nights are long and the days are fast when I was in my postpartum. And I was just like, I used to dread the nights because back to your breastfeeding story, breastfeeding is such a personal thing. And we need to normalize, like, you can do whatever you want, what's best for you. And that's what's best for baby, you and your family. Yeah. We did formula and breast milk. It took me until Ollie was 12 weeks old to fully be able to produce enough milk. And I can't tell you the number of times we were going 4 times a week to the IBCLC, which is the International Board Certified Lactation Consultant here in Omaha. They have this great store called Milkworks. and or nonprofit, and you can go see these lactation consultants, and I would breastfeed and they would do these weighted checks, and we had to do like these protocols, and I was on like 3 supplements and drinking so much blue Gatorade at the time. There's so many other things now,
Yeah.
but like power pumping, I had like the medical grade pump, and it was just, for me, it was just so like I just didn't have anything else, so I held on to that. But boy, it was like a struggle. I remember coming down from we had to formula feed because I didn't make enough when we came home. This stress killed everything with my breast milk for the longest time. Stress with, you know, everything you endure. Is there any advice that you have to any women who are trying to conceive and have PCOS? Is there anything about choosing a doctor for your fertility that you want to share, or anything in your journey that really significantly helps you besides Reiki or energy healing?
I can honestly tell you that there's no doctor, there's nothing outside of your inner self that's going to help you conceive. They always told me, everyone always told me, when you least expect it, it's going to happen. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's not true. And honestly, yes, I was going through the beta with you. We did the 10-week beta, I think it was, right? Was it 10 weeks or so? And at that point, I said, I'm going to give it 100%. I'm going to give it my all. And if nothing happens from here, you know, it's not part of God's plan. And I wasn't honestly, I was trying, but I wasn't 100% like, okay, this, and this. I just let it happen. And when you let things happen, it will happen. Now, I'm not going to say that self-care is not a big part of that. You have to have self-care. You have to also take care of yourself, not only emotionally, mentally, physically. I've never been a good eater. Never in my life. I'm telling you, Noah had pizza and Mexican food and stuff while I was pregnant with him. I was not one of those moms that I was like, oh, I can't eat this because I don't want my baby having this. No. And he was born super healthy. But self-care in the sense of your mind.
Eat pan con bistec?
Okay, pan con bistec. He ate arroz con frijoles. I remember I was craving steak, palomilla steak with white rice, black beans, and avocado. I hated avocado. I never ate avocado, guacamole, anything like that. When I got pregnant with him, I found myself having an avocado with every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wanted avocado 24/7.
When I was pregnant, I had an aversion to meat. And my best friend in Miami, her name is Melissa, and she's a registered dietitian. And I would tell her, I would have her she was the only person that I had in my circle at that time that had children and that I was close with. And I'm like, I can't eat meat. And I'm lactose intolerant. So she found me a protein shake that I had to drink 2 of those a day. And they were disgusting. And I would eat watermelon and strawberries, and I would drink everywhere I go. I would take pickle juice. Like I was like drinking pickle juice. In my entire pregnancy, I burped. It was like everything was a burp. Like I couldn't, I had my gallbladder taken out. It was bad. And I just remember I had lost 42 pounds in my pregnancy between the first and second trimester. And then I gained it all back.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I lost it, and then because I threw up so much, and then I had it again. I gained it back. It was really wild.
Yeah, I didn't really have any food aversions or anything like that. The only thing different was I craved avocado. I never liked it. I never ate it.
How do you feel about now?
I love it now. I love it.
Yeah. Did your shoe size change? I went up half a shoe size. I had to get all new shoes.
I was a 7.5, and now I'm an 8. So yeah, my shoe size did change a little bit. The only thing I'm struggling with right now, when I pre-pregnancy, I was a size 10. Now I'm a size 12. But you know what? It doesn't really faze me. like, I want to be that size 10 because I have so much clothes that I don't fit into now, but whatever. I'm just enjoying my time with my baby right now. And
I'm so proud of you, and you are inspiration to many, and I'm just have been honored to be part of it and to call you my friend.
No, absolutely. And I'm, like I said, when we reconnected, it was part of the plan. It was part of what I needed to do in order to conceive Noah. And, you know, I know that my previous 3 losses, at first it's really difficult to deal with because you don't understand. I mean, you, like you said, I'm this good person. I want to give, I want to love. And I know that I can be the mother that, you know, I'm supposed to be. And when I would have the 3 losses, at a point you get to that, you think this is not for you, but it's not that this is not for me, is that God was preparing me for Noah. And that's the way I see it right now. So it has a positive outcome at the end. And he is the most beautiful, loving, energetic little baby. I mean, he's 7.5 months. He's almost 8 that I have ever met. I mean, anywhere I go with Noah,
it's a light.
Everybody has something to do with him. Like, he walks into the room and lights it up for everyone.
How is having, since, because you have other nieces and nephews, how is having this baby affected your entire family? Like,
oh, everybody loves him. Everybody. My mom is madly in love with him, and so is my dad. My in-laws are madly in love with him. Everybody. My son loves his brother. He comes over and spends time with him. Again, he's 22. He's not really used to dealing with babies, so when he's trying to feed him and he's trying to be involved, I'm like, wait, careful. And I need to back off from that, and I need to just let him. But he tries, you know, he's very involved with him and loves him. He loves his brother.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to bring him out? Do you want to show him?
Let me bring him.
Hi, Noah.
Say hi.
How are you?
Say hi, Noah.
Oh my God, he's so beautiful.
Say thank you.
So beautiful.
So his favorites right now. So my husband's American Italian and I'm Cuban. So I definitely want his first language to be Spanish and then learn English. So there's this program that I put on Univision. It's called Atención, Atención. It's basically like a kids program in Spanish. And that's like his favorite. He hears the music and he starts laughing. He starts jumping and dancing and that. And then the movie Encanto and the movie Luca. Those are his favorites. He does like the color blue. Anything blue, he's automatically attracted to. And I think that's
super observant. Look at him looking around.
Yeah. And I think that's why he likes the movie Luca, because it's very like in the water and he's blue and things like that. And he loves the color blue. Right, Tata? What are you looking at?
I can't wait until I meet him in person. It's going to happen this year. You're going to meet Ollie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ollie will bring you a gift and you can play together. Ollie loves babies. He keeps asking for a brother or a sister. And I'm like, factory's shut down, bro.
Yeah, same here. Done.
Yeah. Well, Belkys, thank you so much for sharing your time and your story. And I know your story is going to inspire so many others. I'm just so grateful for you. And I love you. I adore you. I love you, your family, Noah, everyone. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.